It's not a day in my life. You know me, my dog, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one foot and set, boy, till there's nothing left on a run.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On second down, Jacobs. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Hurd trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And now they'll throw with Allen. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. On first down, Hurd. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run right here with Jacobs. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready? Time to end this. Check 55. Hashem. Hey, what's the ball? Hey, check 20. On the ball.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 23 yards, the final tally.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 44-yard line.
Mike 21, check Mike 21. Watch the curl.
They'll try the draw now with Chubb. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Chris Boswell on for the field goal.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. I'll guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the midfield stripe, the holder's thinking to himself, that's a long way. Probably not as confident as well.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They run it with Jacobs. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Push him back. Mike 55. Hey, watch. Hey, Delta. It's our time.
Now Allen. Able to find Deion Kane, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now that'll be caught by Cup. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Hurd, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
But number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big time.
And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. I know he ain't got it. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Watch the run, watch the run. This side, baby, that's it.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21. You ain't going nowhere.
2nd and 10. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to air one out. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
He trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
39 yards there, a big one.
First down, Raiders.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Hurd only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. So the shotgun snap to Allen. This one into the hands of Hurd. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. He'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me, and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that, so you really give yourself an advantage.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And now this pass brought in by Brown. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll try the left side. Hurd. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Check 55, Mike. Is that? You ready? You ready? 55, tight. Here we go. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
To the air, Allen. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It got his man complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Cooper Kupp 84 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, they'll throw. And the Raiders have got him. Cleveland Farrell able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
A gain of 6 yards. It's 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective. They had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You're going to have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see this thing.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Their own 32-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Hey, pick your game up.
On 2nd down now, Hurd. And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Jalen Hurd with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Right there in the middle, 55. I'm coming after you.
2nd and 2. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Back to throw here. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Cleveland Farrell bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. The deception there pays off to perfection. 14 yards on the fake punt and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So
he's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 30. 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.